What's up? It's your boy Carcino, and let's get to it. This is the truth between the beef with Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight, or Suge Knight and Snoop Dogg. And as we always do, we go to the beginning. Let's go back to 213, where it's the old group of Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg, and Warren G. And they making tapes, and they on at what's his name, Mama, his sister crib, Warren G. You know, he kicking it, making these tapes and making the beats. And got Nate singing on the hooks, and it's dope, you know. And Dr.Dre is his half brother, so they was like, man, Dre gonna get a song, man. Your half brother is Dr. Dre. So they thinking that, you know, this is gonna be it. You know, we can get over there and be with Ruthless, and be over there with Eazy-E now. And Snoop, you know, he had the curly fade back then, you know, and baseball caps. He walking over there, you know, he was like, man, we finna go to the studio. Dre gonna be there, Easy, you know, they recording. They was doing the Niggas for Life album. And that's when Snoop finally got to meet Eazy-E. You know, because he was like, man, you know, I want to see Eazy-E. You know, I seen him on the videos, I ain't never met him. And then he meet Eazy and see how cool, like, Eazy is and everything. And they like, man, that's Eazy, man. Look, like, that's Eazy. You know, plus he was crippin', you know. Eazy hanging out with the Crips. He always got them gloves on with the cut off fingers. You know, that was Eazy thing. So Eazy was basically not even rapping that day. He just hanging out, you know, ready to do a part here and there, whatever they want him to do. Dre is just in there working on beats. So Warren gave him a couple of tracks, like some records, because Yella was there. He was like, Yella, man, you pick up them, you know, them tracks. He was like, yeah, I want you to listen to this, Dre, and I want you to listen to this. And what was funny is this is the same time Tupac and Digital Underground was in town. And they was filming same song video. And he was like, yeah, man, we going down to the video set. Digital Underground, they finna shoot same song out here for the movie. He was like, for real? He's like, yeah, we gonna probably get on the soundtrack. So Eazy-E then went down there, and Dre and all them, and NWA went to the set, chilled out for a minute, had some fun and jokes. So Snoop was there. So it's funny because Tupac was right there. Suge came around, talked to Dre at the time, and he started coming by less and less. Like, he started feeling like okay, maybe I ain't wanted here. You know, like, you know, Suge wasn't feeling like he used to be. He used to just pop up like he owned the place. And Eazy kind of like, okay, we got to put a halt to your boy just popping in and out, you know, doing his own thing. So after the incident happened with Eazy-E, and then Dre went over with Suge, Snoop was supposed to come over with Above the Law and all them, because all them was kicking it together. They were supposed to all come together as a package. But Above the Law was there, and Snoop and them ended up going with Dre over to what's his name, and he didn't take 231. Like, he never signed Nate Dogg, and he never signed Warren G, his own brother. Only person he wanted was Snoop. And then he heard Snoop rapping on that tape and was like, yeah, see, his voice is what I need. Dude, smooth, I need his voice. So he was like, don't worry, man, y'all gonna be in it too. Like, so they got to hang and kick it, and he thinking, all right, man, our deals is coming, and Nate Dogg is working on the album with him, and then Nate Dogg gets signed after the album come out, because Dre didn't even like Nate Dogg. And once Nate Dogg got signed after they did F with Dre. You picked the wrong mother day. Here we go, blow the blow, toe to toe. Let me know if you think you can fade Death Row. Okay. Once Dre recorded that song, he said, I hear what y'all saying. Y'all right. We signing him today. So Nate Dogg got signed, but before that, he thought Nate was whack. And anyway, back to Snoop. Snoop comes on the scene. Suge comes in there. They finna get a soundtrack. They already got the soundtrack for the movie, and right now they dealing with contracts and all this stuff. But they got this movie deal, and they got the money for it already, so they got to produce the song. So in comes Snoop. He want to put Snoop on there and introduce him. And then they were gonna make them that was gonna be their first major artist on the label. But here's the kicker: Suge don't like him. Suge met him, was like, homie ain't finna work. It wasn't just that he was a Crip; it's just the way he came in and his attitude. He was like, man, you sure about this, Dre? You know, like, I don't know this dude like that, man. I ain't really with this. He don't sound like, no, we got Doc working with him, and, you know, Doc gonna work with him. I'm gonna work with him, but trust me, this dude voice here, yeah, he rough around the edges, but he gonna be alright. Oh, yeah, y'all let me do the voices, so I do the Dre. Yeah, he gonna be alright. Yeah, hit that verse again, Yeah, that's dead right. That's dead right. Nah, I think that you need to go in there and lay that track one more time. Yeah, I got it. Go ahead. So that's Dre. But Suge came in there. Dre, I need to talk to you. Your boy, I don't like him. He said he good. I understand that. He says business. I just don't think he's an artist that's going to sell a lot of records. I don't know. He's young. He's like a kid. I don't know nothing about him. You know, I'm saying, let's stick with the Miss Chalet. Let's get Doc in here and get some other artists. And y'all mold them. And then we get some young boys out here from Compton. You know, we get a Butter Law and work about putting them out. Then we do some R&B records and get like Juicy. I'm gonna get their contract. We gonna do the R&B and we gonna do hip hop. We're gonna have it. We're gonna have everything. So I don't know about this. So he was like, I do the talent. Like, let me judge the talent. That's my job. So he let Dre run it. Like, Suge gave him the okay, blessed him. Suge didn't care if he a Crip. If you gonna make some money for him, he care less. And right now, Snoop ain't signed anyway. He was like, well, I ain't signing it, nigga. That's what Suge voice is like. Nate Dogg had a contract done before Snoop. That's honest to God true. Nate had a contract done, but Snoop didn't. Snoop was not signed during the Chronic. They just signed Snoop right before Doggy Style. Was like, even like, he had the murder case going on at that time. Like when he had gotten signed and they were doing the, is we gonna sign Snoop or not? And he was already recording Doggy Style. And they didn't even have him signed. It was crazy. But during that time, Snoop was just like, yo, man, I'm just here to lay my vocals down, you know, do what I do, you know, and come and bless this. And Deep Cover come out, kills it. Everybody loved Deep Cover song. And then by having a jukebox come out too, people didn't know how influential that was for hip hop. You get to request your video instead of just waiting for them to play it. so people could play it over and over and over again, and Deep Cover kept getting played. And the thing is Dr. Dre hated the song. I don't like it. He was like, man, you don't like it? Nah, man, it's rushed. It's rushed. It ain't complete. So he didn't like the hook. Yeah, and you don't stop, cause it's one except. He just don't like Deep Cover. Now, all of this is done. Everything is going great. Snoop gets a murder case. A guy was sneaking up on his car. His buddy saw the guy creeping. His other guy tried to hold him back, like, no, man, don't do it. You know, some blood, and his boy shot. Pop, pop. Shot the guy like 2 times, and Snoop pulled off. Next thing you know, dude was dead. So Snoop is facing, he turned himself in, got his case, he got his lawyer, and they went in there and turned themselves in. And when they came back, the charges and all this stuff, he was facing a murder charge. So it's like, man, Snoop facing murder charges. Like, what we finna do? Snoop album, Doggy Style, is like 3 songs in, you know, and here it is. Like, he got this trial coming up and all this stuff he gonna need done. You know, what the labels are gonna do. So, everybody do what they always do. They hustle to see what they gonna get. At this time, The Chronic does like 5 million records sold. It's like one of the biggest selling rap albums since MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. It's monumental. It's really put them on the map. Snoop is the biggest star in the world. And here it is, he's facing a murder charge that could derail his entire career. And they're like, do y'all want to miss out on this money? Suge Knight went to Interscope and fought for Snoop. Snoop wasn't signed. He was like, look. He went to Jimmy Iovine and said, Jimmy, if we don't pay for this guy trial, and we gonna miss out on the biggest rap artist of all time. Snoop Dogg, right now, he gonna be the biggest rap artist in the world. And we don't sign him, and we don't take care of this guy and bring him in, whatever this trial gonna cost, it's nothing compared to what we gonna lose if we lose Snoop and don't look out for him. Because Russell Simmons and Def Jam was finna steal him. They went and signed Warren G right after, and they was looking to get Snoop and Warren G and everybody. They was finna back up the money truck. And Suge had to go there, and he had to regulate. So Suge didn't like that, you know, what's his name, Warren G went over with Russell. But it's like, dude, you wouldn't give me a deal. So once they worked everything out, they was able to get, you know, the Nate Dogg approval and all that stuff at Death Row. But back to Snoop. So Suge went and got Jimmy to say, okay, we're going to finance it. So they're paying for Snoop's trial. Snoop's trial costs a lot of money, like millions. Millions, dog. That's how much his lawyer fee, the retainer fees, all the courts and all this stuff, continuance and going back and forth. He had so much going on with that trial that took up like a year. That case was like over a year old. We looking at all. No, it got resolved in like 96 or 95 around that time. So it was almost 2 years of them fighting that case. So while he doing What's My Name and all this Snoop Doggy Dogg, Murder Was the Case that they gave me. So he's basically doing all these songs. His album is through the roof. Interscope was like, he is not going to jail. They went and pulled every string they could, to get that resolved. It was a self-defense, and that's what they called it, and that's what they got. The police didn't even try to investigate no more as to nothing else about it. They said, look, this guy was a nobody, a gangbanger. They trying to pawn him off as a good citizen. He was a gang member, getting ready to make a move on another person that he felt was a rival. This was a self-defense. This is Snoop Dogg, the biggest artist in the world. And so at that time, Snoop had that leverage that he was the biggest artist, but he had missed a lot of time. He was gone for a minute because of that trial. So Death Row wasn't really putting out nothing at that time. They were doing like movie soundtracks. Everybody was hitting them off with money, big money for movie soundtracks just for a song. It was like, man, they paying big money. They like, yeah, we got the whole soundtrack, Above the Rim, Friday. You know, everybody was getting involved with Death Row. You was on the West Coast, you was getting all the movie soundtracks, you was getting Death Row. So the money's coming in. Snoop got a house now. Snoop got cars. Snoop got anything he want. He wants suits. He wants jewelry. He got anything he want. He called Suge. What you need? How you living? You need some cash? Snoop Dogg. Snoop Doggy Dogg. He come over there. Hit him up. Alright, I'm send a car over there. Tell me what you need. You need that? I got it for you. I'm going to have him pick it up. I'm going to have him drop it off to you. You got it. You need 10,000? You need 30,000? You need 50,000? He had it. He had it. Snoop can tell you to this day, if he's an honest man, he'll tell you right now, if he ever said to Suge, man, I'm light, I need something. Suge was hitting him off. Every time. Every time. He ain't never tell you, man, I ain't got it. No, you was taken care of. You needed a car, your mama needed this, your daddy needed that, your auntie needed this. Suge had it for you. You need a house? I got your mama a house. Snoop went from living in Dr. Dre's house to having his own mansion. All this stuff laid out. Snoop was behind the 8 ball, millions of dollars. And this is what people don't understand. Because they paid for his trial, he was behind the 8 ball. So he felt like, man, I gotta, play ball because these the dudes that's got, they doing me right. But people was putting bugs in Snoop's ear, like people at Def Jam and everybody else, like, man, Snoop, I don't know how they treat me over there, this is what you need to do. Then when Tupac came, it was a shift. Because Tupac was more close to Suge than Snoop ever would be. Snoop was like, Suge was, when Tupac got there, he was like, man, come on, man, you gotta respect, this is Snoop house. Snoop built this house, man. Like, come on, Pac, man. This Snoop house, this Dogg house. He built this. So when he got there, Pac was just on some, I'm taking over. And he just wasn't going, Snoop was like, yeah, this like, it's just like Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, like the Bulls. We just going to run it like that. But it was a fight over who was going to be Michael Jordan. Because Snoop thought he was Michael. And Pac was Scottie. Oh, he was wrong. He was dead wrong. Because Pac was every bit of Jordan. And he was every bit of Scottie Pippen. But he didn't see it that way. And that's where the problems is going to come in at. Like, Snoop supposed to have a big studio to record. And Pac was, man, I need that. Man, they playing around. Because Snoop would take all day recording something. Because, your perfection is like Dre. So they'll, chill out, smoke, and do all that. Pac ain't that way. Pac want it done now. He'll get in there and hit it and knock it out the park and like, look, let's get it mixed. Like, all these guys work with it and do what they got to do. Let's hit the next song. Get it ready. Y'all got to keep up with me. That's how Pac style was. So when everybody else came aboard, they came walking in the door. You know, Pac started getting high and drinking, and Suge was more hanging with Pac, because Pac energy and everything else, M.O.B. F bad boy and Puffy, and that's all Suge wanted to hear anyway. Anybody talking that's right up his alley. So Dre leave and shake the spot. Dre the enemy, and Dre ain't take nobody with him. And Snoop is like, whoa, hold on now, Dre gone. Like, he just up and left and then like disappeared. So Snoop was like, there was no conversation. He ain't answer no phone. He just left. You know, and it's like, man, dog, you ain't even talk to me. You know, like, we were like the tag team, Snoop and Dre. So Snoop getting ready, you know, he working on his album, Dogg Father album. And they like, yeah, like, we back. We finna roll with Snoop. We gonna have Tupac. Like, we don't need Drake. We got Pac. We got Snoop, the two biggest artists in the world. And that's all we need. Death Row gonna be alright. So Pac had no problem attacking Dre anytime he wanted, but Snoop had a problem with that. Like, hey, I ain't finna be attacking no Dre. Like, Dr. Dre had me sleeping on his, you know, on the couch and the floors and stuff. Like, I'm in the game because of Dre. So people always looked at everybody Dre brought in that was still at Death Row. Like, you want to go with Dre? Going with Dre means you finna get the worst beat down of all time. Like Samuel Sneed. He brought Sam Sneed over there. Sneed, like, I'm stuck here and don't know what's going on. You know, like, I'm just left here, no project coming out or nothing. Def Jam tried to work with, Death Row, but it wasn't going to happen. So, Snoop was trying to leave Death Row back then, but he felt like, I got to play my role because these dudes looked out for me during my trial. You know, he wanted to leave before Tupac got there. Actually, he really wanted to leave before Pac showed up. Because he was like, man, my money ain't right, and I felt like I should have had this, but he's like, man, they paying for my trial. So I got to play the position. I got to sit here and play the role. And that's what he did. He sat there, he played his position, he played his role. And when it came down to it, when the Dogg Father came out, he was like, all right, Snoop, it's his turn to rule. You know, Dogg Father came out, Pac died. And after him and Pac had that beef, it was real friction between Snoop and Suge. You know, like, for the first time, because he was more in line with Pac. He was like, man, this dude want to be friends with Puffy now and all this stuff. And he was like, man, I told him about that already. He came to me with that. Like, let's sit down, let's talk to him. Ain't nothing to talk about. Me and Puffy want to get in the room with me and talk to me like a real man. Me and him could squash it. But he don't want to do that. Because he ain't a real man. So, that was basically it with that. So, like I said, that was the last time he saw Pac. Pac ended up dying. So, Snoop was the last remaining big artist, and he was happy with that because now he's like, I'm back being the man. And now it's back my show. So, Snoop was comfortable. No more talking, leaving the role and all that stuff. He was comfortable. He felt like, I'm in a good position here now. Dogg Father album come out. Don't Do It. It really was projected to do it. Did like 2 million sales. But nothing like what they thought was going to happen with Death Row. And then people didn't like the record. You know, the album. They just like, man, this album sucked. Snoop then lost it. You know, DOC had shook the spot, so there was nobody to really like guide or mentor Snoop during that album. There was no Dre. It was mostly just Daz. So, after all this, it was like, okay, what we do next? So what they do next is the next best thing. Switch it all around. Let's switch stuff up. Snoop is now unhappy, and Suge is in jail for the incident that happened with Pac. Oh, it's time for me to shake the spot. It's time for me to go. So once Snoop decided, okay, this ain't working, I gotta go, do my own thing, I'm leaving Death Row, he gotta deal with Master P. You know, that was it. He was like, yeah, I got this deal and I'm done. And they had to sit down and negotiate it. But before that, he was like, I'm up. And he was trying to keep it quiet. He did a little performance at Nickelodeon at the park. Got jumped, you know, and they put their hands on him. Because, see, here's the thing. Daz is going to come with him. Daz is on his way. Like, yo, I'm going with you, fam. And Corrupt was already gone. Corrupt left and was like, I'm in love. I'm moving to New York. So he's over there with Foxy Brown in love. And then everybody over here was like, all right, well, forget Corrupt. He gone. But on this side, it was on some other stuff. You know, over here, it was like, look, you left the row. You weren't supposed to lead the row. You snuck out and signed with Master P, and Master P and them got him paid. So Snoop was like, whoa, I'm paid now. So Snoop had to get protection after they jumped him. They tried to set him up and shoot him at the swap meet and all kind of stuff. So he had to get like 24-hour protection from Master P, and P had to call, you know, on Suge, hey, this P, look, man, we both from the hood, whatever. You know, we both grinding. You do you grinding, Snoop grinding. We all come from nothing. Man, well, let's cut out all the nonsense. Because I ain't scared, bruh. But once he told Suge he wasn't scared, Suge was, nah. It ain't about that. It's about respect. But you want to talk business? We'll get Reggie, and then we'll come down here. We'll work something out. So they worked something out, and from then he thought it'd be over, but it wasn't, because in certain areas, like him being, you know, protected wasn't happening. And what Snoop didn't realize is that he was being paid, but he wasn't in control of like his content. He got albums he got to deliver. So he was delivering albums, and he was like, you know, that's it. I want to start putting out my own record company, Doggy Style Records. So, you know, I ain't had nobody else eating off me. I get to eat on my own, you know, so I could start doing my own thing. And he just watched how Master P did his thing, and he's like, all right, cool, I'm going to do mine. He got his boys that got out of jail, the East Siders, and they going to roll. Well, Suge wasn't going to let that happen. You know, once you lead a row one way, man. And Suge felt betrayed because he did a lot for Snoop. He went to bat a lot of times for Snoop. And Snoop, anything Snoop wanted, he had it. Snoop wanted to see his records. And like, let me see the paperwork. I want to know how much money I'm making, how much money coming in. And they was like, whoa. Brother. You signed away your publishing a long time ago when we signed you, and we gave you that money for an advance money for the court case for your murder trial. The record company paid for it. Interscope paid for your murder trial. You signed away the publishing to cover that, and he didn't know what he was doing when he did it. So it was like, look, Death Row didn't put that money up for you. We went and helped acquire the money for you. So, you know, for those services and all the stuff rendered, you owed money. So that covered it. So your money was going into royalties, was going back to the record company for the murder trial. And Snoop didn't understand that. He thought like, man, all the money I made, that should have covered it, you know. And that's how people who's uneducated about business, you know, that's how their reaction is look, man, I made enough money. I sold a lot of records over here. What do you mean I still owe? It's like, dude, your bill is your bill. What you owe is what you owe. You signed over your royalties. Nobody made you do that. You did it on your own. So don't get mad at everybody because you did that. So he was mad that Tupac had his royalties. Like, oh, Tupac can get his own thing, but I can't. He can get his own record label. I can't. It's like, dude, if you was close to Suge, you would probably got it too. But anyway, after all this, they had a Source Awards fight. Now, before that, Dre got punched in the face when he was there with Snoop and all that stuff. And this big Source Award fight, once Dre got Eminem, and he kind of dug him out the cellar and rejuvenated his career with Eminem, they was like putting the wheels and the screws to Eminem to try to get him to sway. But here's the problem. You got Jimmy Iovine to deal with now. Jimmy's in there. Jimmy's like, look, Interscope versus Interscope, you know, like, we own all this. And I ain't about to let none of it get blown. Definitely not this Eminem money. So, y'all, you can cancel that. So, pretty much all these attempted assaults and everything else, Snoop came out with Pimp Slap. I mean, he was diss song against against Suge, because he got the East Siders with him. And them boys got rumbled at that Source Awards, boy. The Mob Pirus put a beating on them. Whew. Merciless. And these are some big linebacker, straight out the joint dudes. Man, I mean, they wasn't playing no games. So they knew then, like, oh, okay, we can't do these type of setups no more. So finally, you know, as the years went by and situations was different, Snoop's position got more solidified, more solid people came up to back him as far as the Crips, and he was really cripped out. So he had support from some of the biggest Crips in the world, and Suge was like, they couldn't really pull it no more. They done it, and it was like, okay, you had your shots then, you didn't get it. Now let's sit down like men, and let's really talk this out. And it's at a point now that Suge was like, man, let's talk. And they sat down and talked, and they came like 3 hours of conversation, cleared up a life, like years and years of BS. And right now they in a good space to this day. And that's a blessing. Because they come out with a Death Row movie, and they got support from Suge and Snoop. It should be epic. Should be an epic movie. But it was a lot of nonsense that kept a lot of stuff going in during those days. I'm just glad everybody made it out safe. Subscribe to the playlist. It should be at the end of the video. And don't forget to click that little white button in the right hand upper corner and see the other, what they call cards. But there's other videos, other playlists. You know, I'm out.